afternoon, everybody. It's time for Breaking Bread with Nanny Bubby. I'm Nanny Bubby. This is my kitchen, and I'm about an hour and a half late, maybe more, almost like an hour and 45 minutes late for being here. And I have had one of those crazy, crazy days that take me back to 6 months ago when my kitchen was being remodeled. And I tell you, the stressors that come about when you are literally, what would be the word, organizing and scheduling 7 different subcontractors to come into your home at one time. And of course, every time is a 4-hour window, and every time when you had something scheduled, you had to go somewhere, you couldn't go somewhere and you had to cancel on people, which I'm not used to doing at all. I don't cancel on people, but during those, 2 straight months of the demo of this kitchen, that's exactly what was happening. It was canceled, try to redo it. It was grumpy, it was irritable. I wasn't on the air. I have a beautiful end result, and I had almost completely forgotten all about it until this week. So while I dry these herbs, which I'm going to put in the Moroccan chicken, let me tell you about what's going on. So this is fresh rosemary, which I'm going to take off the stem, and I'm drying it with a paper towel, mostly because I don't want to get water on my TV switching equipment. So I'm doing this the easy way. Not the easy way, because I'm going to actually have to dry every stem, but it's okay. I've got a lot to say while I'm at it, okay? So you'll bear with me, and I'll tell you my story and tell you no lies. I ordered my refrigerator in April of 2022. It's a Sub-Zero, which I am so excited to have. My aunt in Beverly Hills, where she lived, had a side-by-side freezer and refrigerator, Sub-Zero, and I fell in love with it when I was a little girl. I used to go there and I used to stare on the inside of that refrigerator. I'd never seen anything like it. And what I loved about it is, unlike my refrigerator here, is the shelves are not deep. They're wide, but they're not deep. So that meant that food didn't get stuck behind other food and you couldn't see it. And I just thought that that was genius. And I have always, always, always wanted a Sub-Zero. So of course I ordered it. 2022 was really the tail end of COVID. And I knew that I wasn't going to take delivery of that freezer and refrigerator until June and July of 23. But I thought, it's going to fly by. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to be grateful it's on order. And then when I called to inquire in April, they said, "Oh, sorry. We're sorry to tell you, but your order has been delayed. Sub-Zero is not approving quality control for recent things that were made," because apparently they get the chips out of Taiwan, or I'm not sure exactly where. "And as a result, your freezer and refrigerator are not coming until December." I'm like, okay, listen. And I'm just going to show you this as I'm drying this off. This is how we've been living, which is just not that big of a deal to me. I do wish. So this is my refrigerator. This is the old refrigerator. And as you can see down over here, there's like 6 inches of space. So I got this big hole here for this really beautiful piece that is coming. But this shouldn't bother a human being. This is my old refrigerator stuck into the big hole. It works, it's beautiful, it's plugged in, it's a built-in, so it's secure to the cabinets, and I have been very happy. So that is just not my issue. I'm good with it. I'm grateful that the refrigerator is coming in December, and I have moved on with the information that I just got. So anyway, while I'm here, let me just pull out what the vegetables. So I just want to show you, we prep these on Sunday, and I'm going to do roasted cauliflower, purple and yellow cauliflower. And actually, if you could see into my refrigerator, which you're going to now, let's see if I can get you. You can see that the things that are bagged, I hope you can see it. I can't tell if you can see it. There we go. some point you have to be able to see this. The camera's right in the drawer here. That everything that I have cleaned and prepped for these dinners that I make all week long is actually either in a Ziploc with a paper towel to absorb the moisture, or one of the actual vegetable bags from I have to stop saying I'm starting to drive myself crazy with that. From the produce section, right? So we put a paper towel in there, and that's what we do. So this is what happened with regards to the refrigerator. Let me just bring the camera back. Here we are. Okay, so this is what happened. I get an email either Monday afternoon or early Tuesday morning. I'm pretty sure it was Tuesday morning, and says, this is what the email says: we would like to set up delivery of these 2 items. And they give serial numbers as if I would know what that is, for Friday, June 16th. I'm like, well, I don't have it. They must be making a mistake, because I don't have anything else I am waiting for my kitchen except the refrigerator and freezer, and I know that that's not going to be here until December. So I write back and I say, I'm sorry, I cannot decipher these numbers. Could you please give me the layperson's name of what it is you're wanting to deliver? Because I was sure they were talking to the wrong person. They say, your refrigerator and freezer. And I say, wait a minute. I thought you said that my refrigerator and freezer were not going to be here until December. And she writes back and says, well, we've had so many cancellations recently because of people not wanting to wait that have moved on to other products. This is what you've ordered, and it's become available, but you have to take delivery of it Friday. And I'm like, you cannot be kidding me. First of all, I have to pass inspection in order to get the freezer and refrigerator into the kitchen. And I had my inspection a couple weeks ago when we were messing around with the ice maker and dishwasher from Eric from A1 Appliance Install, who's incredible. I highly recommend them. And he said, hey, Marla, there's a problem with your opening for the refrigerator. It's 60 inches on the top, which is perfect, but the wood bowed, and it's now 59.5 inches at the bottom. So you're going to have to get this repaired in order for us to put your refrigerator and freezer in. And I said, well, I'm not too worried about it. It's not coming till December. I'll work with the cabinet maker, and all this will be done by the time you come to deliver that. So I didn't give it any mind, but I did reach out immediately to my cabinet maker, because I don't like to be behind the 8 ball, and said, hey, Nick, will you get over here? I'm not going to pass inspection. I did say it. I said, I have no idea if this refrigerator or freezer is coming in a month, or if it's coming in December, or if it's coming a year from now, because they keep moving the date on me. But I think we need to get this addressed, because anything can happen. Well, no truer words, because here it is, Tuesday morning, they send me an email, and they say, we want to deliver on Friday. And not only do I not have the cabinetry adjusted for the 1/2 inch at the bottom, but I have to have the electrical dropped, because Sub-Zero refrigerator and freezers take major plugs. Each one has to be on its own circuit. And we dropped the wires for that circuit during the remodel, but we can't get behind this refrigerator, the old refrigerator, to actually put the circuit into the wall. So I have electrical to do, and I have to move the old refrigerator and freezer out to the garage. So I say to Ferguson's, this is where I lost my mind. In fact, before I tell you this story and tell you no lies, let's see who's here. I forgot to look because I'm all involved in this story. Let's see. Lots of people are here right now, so let's see who's here. Oh, gosh. Sometimes I can make there we go. Lene is here. Oh, Lene has heard this story already this morning. Lene, thank you for your patience. Judy Woods is here. Frank is here. Hey, Frankie, thanks for being here. Okay, so I reached back to Ferguson's when I realized it was refrigerator and freezer, and I placed the calls and said, I have to get this done, that done, this done, that done. And hey, Jennifer Tuttle, oh, I know, well, it gets worse. And I say to Ferguson's, it's going to take me a week or two to get these things done. And they say, oh my God. And they say to me in writing, I'm sorry, if you're not prepared to take delivery in the next 3 days, we are going to give your refrigerator and freezer to someone else. What? I mean, literally, mic drop. So I say, no, you are not. You are going to work with me while I coordinate 5 men and subcontractors that need to get into this house to get this prepped. And they said, well, there's other people. It was a cancellation. If you can't take it, there's other people in line, and we're going to put it and give it to them. Let's see. Are you guys like, mouths dropping? So needless to say, I get on the phone and I say back to Ferguson's, listen, you are not giving it. I get so mad. I said, you are not, capital N-O-T, bold, because I was emailing, giving my refrigerator and freezer to anybody else. Nobody could coordinate this faster and better than me, and it is going to get done. And if you give this to somebody else, I'm going to do what I have to do to make you pay for it, because I didn't know what else to do. And they threatened me, so I decided, I'm going to let them know I'm mad. And I'm not someone who does tit for tat, but I just was so furious. And if I said, go ahead, give it to the next person, it's possible that my December order would not make it, because who knows, China invades Taiwan and I don't get a refrigerator and freezer. So there's worse things than that. Everybody, Jennifer, has had problems with Ferguson's. So I just want to say, Eric at A1 Appliance Install, his name is Eric Waterman. Honestly, I called him and he has helped me so much with my dishwasher and the ice makers. He's a really good guy. He's really big in customer service, and he understands what customers go through, especially with Ferguson's, because he does their installs, but he's a separate company. And he said, Marla, worst case, I will pick up your refrigerator and freezer and store it in my warehouse until you can get this done. And I was really grateful, but on the other hand, that cost him money, and I didn't feel I wanted to just rely on that. So I said, Eric, I am going to pull every string I have in the book, and I'm going to make this happen. And I'm just grateful that you are willing to do this, but I promise you I'm going to do whatever I have to do to not make you do that. So anyway, hey, Terry, nice to see you. Terry Shufi, I'm so happy to see you here. You don't come very often. It must be the time of day, but thank you so much. I'm so happy to see you. Thanks for being here. I am going to get my fridge. So here's what's happening. A1 Appliance Install is coming on Monday. They are moving the old refrigerator out. And then Tuesday morning, the cabinet maker is going to come. And I really have to show you, this is what we have to do. So let me show you this. Oh, wrong place. There we go. Okay. So this is what we have to do. This is the craziest thing. If you can see this piece right here, this granite is like about 1/4 of an inch hanging over. And let me just tip down just a little bit so you can see it a little bit better. So this is like no easy feat. We literally, they said to me, we're going to have to take off the top, the stone, and cut it and then put it back so that we can move this bottom part out by 1/2 inch. And I looked at that and I said, I don't want you to take that off. It'll never be the same. It could crack. 100 things can happen. And who's going to pay for it if that happens? Me. Like me. That's how it works, right? So I looked at that, and I do have to say I'm very mechanical. So I looked at it and I said, listen, if we take the old refrigerator out and this is empty, can't we cut a hole into the wood right here, and then we push this wood forward and the stone kind of slips through it a little bit, and we'll never see the hole that you cut to push it through because it'll be covered by the new refrigerator. And he says to me, the cabinet maker says, that's a crazy great idea. How did you think of that? And I said, I'm desperate. That's how I thought about it. And so that's what they're coming to do. On Tuesday morning, they're going to cut a hole right here so that they can move the wood a ½ inch over the top of this right here. You can see that. And the granite, or the stone, it's not granite, it's some other stone that I can never remember, will just kind of be pushed through to the edge of the wood. And nobody will know because it's always going to be hidden by the refrigerator itself. And even if the refrigerator doesn't cover it, I asked them to put the piece back in, and cut it and put it back in, because this is so far to the front, I don't think you're not going to see it. So that's the solve. So that's what's been happening around here. So let's see who else has commented here. So anyway, I have just been so furious, and with these subs, it never ends. Anyway, Tom and Russell went to a fundraiser for Shelley Berkeley tonight, and I thought to myself, the house was quiet, and I was so aggravated. But when all of you come to watch Nanny Bubby cook and just visit and make comments and say hello, as you always do, it always puts me in the best mood. And I decided I could either go sit on the couch and sulk because I was in the worst mood, or I could just set up the equipment. Oh, and this was the other thing. Wait, I'm not done complaining. You've never heard me like this, I know. I'm not done complaining. At 7:30 this morning, thank God for my business manager, who does not have to do this, but she said, Marla, when she heard, she was in my office when all this started, she said, when I come on Thursday morning, I will help you clean out the section of the garage where I was just storing everything during the remodel, and it needed to be cleaned out so that this refrigerator could go in that spot. And not only did we have to do all this work, but I had to clean out the garage space so this would fit in the garage. She said, I'll be here 7:30. I had a 10 o'clock pedicure, and I said, here's the deadline. We're going to go out there at 7:30, and we are going to work our little butts off, and we are going to get it done. I should take a picture. It's so gorgeous out there. There's not a thing in the space. We found space for everything, and I purged a lot of stuff that was there anyway, and there you have it. We got the space ready to have this in it, and so everything has worked out great. I'm here, but I'm late. And now, do you want me to tell you what I'm making? Do you care after all this? I don't know. I would have a large wine if I were you. You know what? If I hadn't had a glass of wine last night, and I get sick from that. Let me move this into the way here. I probably would have, Jennifer, but I had wine last night, and I am not able to drink wine 2 nights in a row. So anyway, this is the cover for the sink. And I'm going to put this beautiful salmon here. Let me get the equipment back. Here we go. I'll let you see. Those are the herbs. Here is the salmon. Look at that. How gorgeous is that? And let's see exactly what I'm going to make. So here we are. The first thing I'm going to do, look how beautiful that looks. It's so fabulous. And you know what I love is that with the rosemary, and this is rosemary, oregano, and parsley, all straight from the garden. This almost looks like thyme to me, but it's definitely oregano. And so here's the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take the rosemary, we're going to grab it right here and come forward like that. Get the needles right off the stem. Do the other one like this. Terry Shufi, I heard you were in Mexico, in Puerto Vallarta. Are you still there? Or are you watching me from Puerto Vallarta, or are you back in Las Vegas? There's that question for Terry. Okay, now we're going to do the same little trick with the oregano, going the opposite direction than the growth occurs. That way it's really easy to pull them off the stem. There we go. Sometimes you have to just snip off the very tip. And we're doing this as well, right here. So who's had a similar experience? What did Judy say? Oh, let's see. Oh, Lene said, I'm so happy you're here. I'm so happy I'm here as well. Really, I am. You guys put me in the best mood. While I'm here, I just want to tell you, if you have not become a member of the Long Life Era Facebook group, Long Life Era Community Facebook group. Oh my God, it's a mouthful. Please do reach out, find it on Facebook, and just ask to join. And tomorrow, and I'm really excited about this, we did a promo today at 2 o'clock, about 2:15 in the afternoon, with Mary Mealy and myself. She is in her mid to late 40s, and she was on the retreat with me in Asheville, North Carolina, and we went on a hike together, and she was so interested in Long Life Era, how I created the name, how I got the idea, why I started it. Honestly, I didn't have any answers to that because I just got this inspiration one night. I struggled to find a name. My husband and a girlfriend of mine helped me with finding and putting together the name. Just, everybody was throwing out words, and Long Life Era is what stuck. I think we were in the middle of the, golly gee. I cannot think of her name. Who's on tour right now, really big, and the tour is called The Eras. I am having a brain freeze on the most popular artist in the country right now. Somebody give me a helping hand on this one. Who the heck is her name? Oh, golly gee. Anyway, her tour had just kicked off, and I went with my granddaughter to see it, and my daughter. Is she there? Why can't I think of her? Taylor Swift. Oh my God, can you believe I could not think of that name? So Taylor Swift, her concert right now is called the Eras Tour. And so that's how it evolved for me into Long Life Era. And anyway, tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time and 12:30 p.m. Pacific Time, not sure what it is on Central Time, but we are doing an interview called The Intersection of the Eras. And as somebody in her in her midlife right now, she has a lot of questions about how to prepare for Long Life Era life. And so she asked if I would consent to doing an interview series called Intersection of the Eras, meaning midlife to long life, because those years, those of you who are sitting in this era right now listening to this, those years happen so quickly. Yes, Judy, Taylor Swift, thank you so much. It just showed up. So if you can tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. in the Long Life Era community Facebook group, and join us. I have no idea what questions she's going to be asking. I have no idea exactly what it's going to be. She's going to study up on some of the comments that people were making today or in the last couple weeks in the group. She's been a member of the group since the beginning, because you don't have to be in your long life era in order to be a member of the group. The point is that if you don't learn how to accept growing into every new decade of your life, when you get in your 70s, 80s, and 90s, you're going to be filled with anxiety and depression, and it's going to be the worst decades of your life as opposed to the best. And I'm committed to helping everybody make it the best. So from that point of view, we are going to be doing this interview tomorrow. You can ask questions yourself. You can either go onto the bottom of the promo that we posted today in the Facebook group and type a question for tomorrow, or you can just type your questions live if you're going to be joining us live. And after the live, we're going to post it into Long Life Era anyway, so you won't miss anything. But I'm really excited about it, and I find so much passion for this, so much passion, and there's so much conversation. I realize we have like 135 members in the group. Actually, now we've got 150. It happened just because right after Mary and I went live, a bunch of people asked to join, like about 20 people asked to join after the live. But now I'm going to type this, not type it, I'm going to, there we go. Now you see me and you see what I'm doing. Okay, that's picture in picture, right? Isn't that so cool that I can do that? So I'm going to So anyway, what I was saying, let me just finish a thought here, is that we've got about 150 people probably now in the group. And before we had 120. And so many, each post is getting about 43 to 72 comments every single post. And when you think about it, we've only got 120 people in the group, anyway, until today. And to have those many comments and that much engagement is just such a thrill for me to see. It just really thrills me to no end. So I'm very proud about that. I'm very proud about the conversations. I really feel like those people that come are feeling very inspired by the information, by the conversation. We've got a lot of positive words. We've got a lot of really great quotes. Dr. Jean Bokelman, who was a valedictorian of the class of 71 at Valley High School, is very engaged in this topic, and she's been posting articles, and just love her to death, and I'm very grateful for that. And so it's, I mean, I love to cook, and where this idea for Long Life Era came from at the time that I pulled it together, I just don't know. I was just driven to do it, and so I did. A little embarrassed to do it. I don't know why. It was like, what am I doing? Why am I doing it? Should I ask people if they think it's a good idea? But I didn't ask anybody. I just went and did it, which is typical for me, right, guys? It's like I just see something and I go right into action. Okay, a little bit of salt. Hey, Hadassah Gold, nice to see you. How are you? I just was telling a really sad story about a refrigerator and freezer. I should be so lucky that this is the worst thing that could ever happen in my life, seriously. I mean, I don't think that I should complain so much, but I think after I have PTSD after months and months and months of this happening every single day while this remodel was going on. And on top of that, it made me really, really, really sad that I literally could not cook for all of you. And I know I lost touch with all of you for so long until I was able to finally get in this kitchen and start truly cooking again, which did not happen until like April. I think I've been back since April. Not as consistent as during COVID, because obviously we all have a lot to do these days. But, you know, now that we're all not stuck in our houses with COVID, but I'm back and I'm happy. And I, just so you know, because Frank was wondering where the heck I was a few days ago, the truth is that my goal is to do Monday, Tuesday, Friday. It doesn't always happen. Like next Tuesday, I have to take my mom to the doctor. I just don't know how long it's going to take, so I may not make next Tuesday. I just don't know for sure, but the goal is Monday, Tuesday, Friday. And like next Friday, I have to go and pick my grandchildren up at school next Friday, and well, next Wednesday I won't be here, but probably won't make it next Friday. But at the end of the day, I really, really love being here. I love seeing all of you, and I'm so grateful for everybody following me. So raise your hand in the chat right here if you are in Long Life Era and or if you're enjoying it, and tell me what you like the best about it, what you've enjoyed since you've been there, those of you that are there, and I think just about everybody is. So tell me that. Okay, so here we go. Now, here's a key that I do. Let me just switch cameras here. So if you can see, I'm pulling out this other cutting board. The key about this cutting board is that it goes into the dishwasher. I really never, ever, ever want to cut onions or garlic on my beautiful wood cutting board because the smell stays in the cutting board. And I go to cut strawberries on this board, and what happens is suddenly they taste like garlic or onion, and I have no idea why. And then I think, oh, I did that 3 nights ago. So I always get this, and I have several of them. I have just these little small thin boards, plastic pieces that I do, and I have this big thicker one. I really like the way this big thicker one actually cuts, so it's better. So what I'm going to do with this, what you saw me sprinkling on the salmon was this Moroccan. It's from Temecula Olive Oil Company. You know how much I love them. and this is called Moroccan seasoning, and it's a rub. But I don't rub it, I like to sprinkle it, and it's got cinnamon, nutmeg, allspice, just a lot of those Moroccan seasonings. You know, cinnamon is a very Moroccan seasoning. All right, let me get rid of this. Forgot to bring out my... Okay, so I'm just going to make thin disc slices with this. Just going to go like this. My trick to slicing the onions is when I want long strips is I literally will just take them, stack them. Let me see, got to be careful with my hands here. Here we go. Maybe do another little cut here. Let me just get this done. I don't want to lose a finger. I lost a nail the other day. And I'm just going to stack them like this. And I am going to just slice them in half. And there we go. And as they start to cook, once we put them right over here onto the salmon like this, then as they cook, they just come apart, and they're just nice, beautiful, thin strips of onion. So I like that. I think this is going to be great. We're going to sprinkle the herbs into the onion and into the salmon as well. And the rest of the chicken broth that I had from when I made, and you know, I'm not going to do any garlic actually. I'm just going to do the onions and the herbs. Decided against that. Will you post this salmon recipe? I will. Yes, I will. I'm just making it up as I go. I have to think about it, but I will for sure. Okay, if you want me to, I will. I have time before Tom and Russell get home. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to, hold on just a minute. I'm getting my oil. The oil's right down here in the cabinet. And I'm just going to toss these onions in just a little bit of olive oil before I add the chicken broth. And I'm going to put a little bit of salt and pepper. I should really put these onions in a bowl. I mean, I see chefs the way they do it. They would put all these, I just didn't think about it because I'm still in my head over the refrigerator and freezer. So you guys will forgive me. But anyway, so I'm just mixing them here. As you can see, I'm going to take a little bit of salt and pepper just so that it will sweat these onions as it roasts. I'm going to cover this with parchment paper and for the first 15 minutes, parchment paper and foil, and then take the foil off so it has a chance to brown a little bit. So there we go. Okay, and now I'm going to go ahead, give this a shake, shake, shake. You know, you shouldn't leave these open in the refrigerator more than 3 to 5 days. And so I always look for ways to use it up. And so here we go. This is just gonna poach and steam as well as roast. And I just love the way this does this. Also, if you want, you can use, boy, my brain is not working today. If you can't think of Taylor Swift, you know you're in trouble. The substitute for white wine that I always say to use, dry vermouth, that's it. White dry vermouth, actually I pour in here after the cooking and just kind of mix it up, and it gives it a really good flavor. Ay, ay, ay. Can you tell I'm tired? I mean, I've been in the garage. Cleaning the garage is enough for any human being. Then we did a live, now I'm doing another live, but I love it. I feel like somebody just walked in the house. No, it's my ice maker. My ice maker is making a lot of noise. Okay. All right. So here it is. That's it. And so as I said, look at that. Is that beautiful? Let me set it over here so you can see it on a tight shot. There we go. Isn't that beautiful? Move this over for you. Isn't that great? So that's it. That's all she wrote. Let's see. Frank said, what? Oh, Frank said, let's see, if your brain's not working, eat sauerkraut. You know what? Okay, Frank, that is exactly right. And I think I actually even taught that. Did you get that from me, Frank, or did you get that from yourself? Honestly, listen, Judy, Frank is right. Let me tell you something. I love this information. Frank, I can't believe you said that. Thank you for the gorgeous Judy. Here's the deal. There is a gut-brain connection, a complete gut-brain connection. And frankly, Frank, I ate poorly last night. I went for Mexican food and I ate things that I normally do not eat. I could have had fajitas, but I didn't. And I had a glass of wine on top of it. And so my gut is like very, very distraught right now. And the truth is that if you want to cure the microbiome of your stomach, the inner parts of your stomach, and settle it and make it better, you need to eat fermented foods. And the two top fermented foods that you can just get your hands on very easily and simply is sauerkraut and sour pickles, or dill pickles as you call them. But you have to make sure that the pickles are just water and salt. Do not buy the pickles with the vinegar in it because they are not naturally fermented. And so when Frank says that eat sauerkraut, he's right. He's right. And in fact, it always settles the microbiome of the stomach. Suddenly the brain starts working again and everything falls into place. So, hey, Mike Herndon, nice to see you. So Frank, that was very, very funny, very timely. And Judy, he is right. So Judy, what do you say about that? Judy's not saying anything. Okay. All right, everybody. Well, I think I'm at the end of the live here, but I do want to say that if you don't use these beautiful cauliflowers, they're absolutely beautiful. The purple cauliflower right now and the orange cauliflower is beyond. They're so flavorful and so delicious. Cauliflower is one of those things that you can buy them organic or not. It doesn't make much difference according to the science of it all. And Frank says he got the sauerkraut from me. There you go. That is correct, and I know I should have known that. There you guys go. How much knowledge and fun have we had for the years? It's so great. Thank you so much. Anyway, so you can buy non-organic cauliflower. It's at the top of the list for the best non-organic vegetables to eat, but never eat strawberries that are not organic. Words to the wise. All right, everybody. Love you to pieces. Thank you for being here. Thank you for cheering me up. Thank you for giving me a purpose greater than sitting in my own head and moping about life, because life just ain't that bad. In fact, life is pretty wonderful, and I love all of you and all your friends. Thank you for letting me share a bad day with you. But life is not perfect, and I really felt and knew that being with you would cheer me up, and it did. And now I'm gonna finish making dinner, and when Tom and Russell come through that door, I'm gonna feel like Donna Reed or Mrs. Cleaver. I'm gonna be happy and joyful, and welcome to Nanny Bubby's Kitchen. Thank you guys for joining me on the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Go out and spread love like butter. Butter, everybody, butter. Bye.